Jeremy, you are joint MD of Homeflow, who runs the marketing and websites for 500 estate agents, 2,500 branches. What makes a good Google Adword campaign?
Wow. A good Google Adword campaign comes down to a few factors, really. What you write when you display it, so when people read it.
So you've got a title, subtext, and a web address.
Yeah, and you can have features as well in some of them, and you can put phone numbers into them as well, and making sure that you're playing back targeted keywords. So if they asked for value my house in Cirencester, you want to make sure you're playing that back to them as well as your brand name. If they asked for property for sale and you're buying applicant traffic, which can work, harder to make work, but it can work, then you want to make sure the advert is speaking to the intent that you purchase. That's one component of it, and your quality score will vary based on that. That's one part of it. The second part of it is when that advert clicks through to your website, where you land, and we've spoken before about landing pages, that's very important, that you land on good quality content or good forms for converting, because Google will be measuring what happens when you get to the website, and they'll be saying if people enjoyed that journey when they got there, if they filled out a form, if they came back several times to that website, they will assume that it was a good answer to the original question the person asked back on Google. Now, if it's a good answer, their auction engine will charge you less for the advert. That's quality score. That's the second component. I'd say the third component is then how you target the advert, and that is a whole topic to itself, really. I mean, you want to make sure you're buying in what are called SKAGs, single keyword ad groups. So, if you're lazy as a PPC agency, or if you're doing it yourself and you don't have the time on your hands to craft them properly, you'll just sort of buy your town name, buy some of your competitors' name, buy your own name maybe, bundle them all into one big campaign and stick a few £100 behind it and say, Google, I trust you to broad match and get me an audience like that, please. Well, guess what? Google's going to take your money and it is going to try and match for you, but it's not going to match as much as if you go in and craft each individual AdWord into its own ad group, measure it individually, trade it. It's like day trading. It's almost like trading the stock market, really. And we do that programmatically these days. We'll look at which groups are performing well, which are performing badly. If you condense them too small, there's not enough volume on a keyword, then you can't do those statistics. So you have to then regroup them a bit to form a big enough ad group to optimize. So that makes sense. It's quite programmatic. It is quite technical, but it's very important.
I mean, people could learn this, couldn't they, if they just went to Google?
Yeah, Google have video after video after video of a university, and we put our staff through training courses at Google just to learn that craft. That's exactly right. Why would you? Your job is to focus on selling houses and the people, and to think about marketing. They're a specialist, and particularly as it's becoming. And the reason I'm excited about the sector is it's becoming software. I mean, it's no longer just people with Excel spreadsheets. That kind of trading. I mean, we turn all the adverts off at night time, and we turn them on later on a Tuesday than we turn them on a Wednesday. We turn them on later during the week as the week goes on, because the return on investment varies by hour of the day. So, they'll take the money off Muggins on a Sunday morning if he doesn't turn the adverts off, whereas they won't take the money off one of our clients if we're turning the adverts off by day. And you just can't do that. You can't trade 4,000 AdWords combinations in single keyword ad group level by the hour on a day without software. And that's what's exciting about the sector.
So your firm, which I know you're not paid to be anything on this sofa, your firm basically, because they're dealing with so many agents, knows what's working in different locations, and they're able, whilst it does cost them, the agents, money to do, you're actually saving the money because they're not having to make the same mistakes that most people do. Yeah,
well, forget about us. Let's talk generically about the sector. A good PPC agency will charge a management fee. They won't charge a percentage of the media spend, because if you think about it, if you charge a percentage of media spend, it's unlike estate agents, it's cost rather than a price you're achieving. You're just incentivized to spend someone's money.
Of course you are.
Whereas if you take a tenancy fee, then you're incentivized, or you can make your incentives aligned with your client. So you can say, we're trying to drive down the cost of your PPC purchasing and drive up the quality of the conversion. So you can work properly on their behalf. And you can use software to do that, and you can use people to do that, and time to do that. Does that make sense?
It does. Thank you very much.
Thank you.